Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1992 Mazda Familia GTX, also known as the 323 GTX depending on the version you are playing. This is the four-wheel drive sporty version of the 323 Interplay, and considering that the 323 Interplay is a very quick car around this track, in fact it's one of the quickest front-wheel drive cars we've ever had, this four-wheel drive version should, in theory, be something else, but strangely it doesn't make as much power as the Interplay, so I guess in a way the Interplay is the one to buy. It depends on what you want. If what you want is sort of a cool-looking early 90s saloon car with a red trimming, then this is the one you need to go for. I think it looks really cool in the black with the red. I can imagine this is one of those cars where it probably only looks good in the game, and if you actually saw this in like real life it'd look a bit poncy, as most cars with red trim do. But I do have to admit, the black and the red, it is giving off like some sort of stealth vibes. I really like it. Very cool. And I really like the 323s in general. I think all of them in this game are terrific. There's of course this sort of generation of 323, the 3-box saloon. Then you've got the GTRs, which are the rally bred hatchback versions of these. There's also the 323F Coupe, or the Lantis, which is a sort of swift-looking coupe, which I really like, and I really wanted one of those at one point in time. And speaking of another car I really wanted as a first car, I know it sounds strange, the 323F S-Wagon, or the Familia S-Wagon. That's really cool as well. So it's it doesn't quite round off the 323 lineage, because of course there's still the Lantis, but in terms of the Familias, this is it, and they've been a very cool set of cars, so be interested to see how this one gets along. Four-wheel drive, 331 horsepower, 1,104 kilos. Interestingly enough, that rear end was actually used for, I think it was the Daihatsu Applause was the rebadged version of this, and every time I look at the rear end of this I just think Daihatsu Applause. Anyways, the Mazda 323, the Mazda Familia GTX, my PAL brain is going off there. The Mazda Familia GTX is going to have 6 laps to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Colton Pikes Peak version, which set the time on 26.540. The Familia is unlikely to beat that. In terms of where the Familia is going to go, well, as much as I would love this to join up with the Interplay, which at the time was like a 30.212, I think it was, I think this is more going to be closer to the S-Wagon, which still set a pretty impressive time. That set a 30.706, although admittedly, considering the power figures on that car, was a little bit underwhelming. I think the GTRs are out of reach. They've cracked the under 30 club. They are 29.7 cars, I think. 30.284 on its first sort of main run. That's pretty quick. Maybe this will be as quick as the Interplay. The Interplay, I can't remember, I don't think the Interplay was actually that particularly amazing to drive. It's just because it makes about 380 horsepower through the front wheels. But that still means it's like a very quick car. If this gets into the under 30, I mean, maybe this can compete with like the Celica GT4. It is in the under 30. That is amazing. I did not think this was going to be an under 30 car. I really didn't. If anything, I thought the S-Wagon, when I first sort of started this series, until I realised the S-Wagon does have a pretty poor gearbox, to be honest. I really thought the S-Wagon was going to be the one to go into the under 30, and this was going to sort of more flounder, but no. That's, don't get me wrong, it's not very far into the under 30 yet. It might go quicker, but it's still very impressive from what is, again, reminder, this is absolutely a first car in this game. I don't know if it shows up on the first couple of days of the dealership. You might have to go sort of in and out of license tests a couple of times before you can get this to show up. But I think these are really cheap. And, I mean, from stock, you know, four-wheel drive, 180-ish horsepower, it's absolutely better than sort of somewhat like a Mitsubishi Galant. But, I mean, in terms of here, we are going to get a bit of a run-up on the final lap, because we cut the course, which is not great. That is the only addition of track limits in GT2. I have no idea if that's a bug or if it's something they actually intended to almost use as track limits at one point, but then again, why would you test it on motorsports land of all of the tracks? Tripped a great many a car up through the years. But then again, if that corner was like unlimited, so many of these cars would absolutely take the biscuit on that corner. I thought I might have tripped it there. 29.766. It is going to match the GTRs. That's incredible. I was not expecting that to be as good as it was. That really is a phenomenally good car. Yeah, wow. 0.5 quicker than the Interplay. That's insane. I didn't run race mod on this, to be honest with you, because, well, to be fair, the race mod shared with the with the Interplay anyway. So one of these was going to have to run race mod. But again, I didn't really think this was going to be the faster of the two, because on paper it really isn't. But yeah, I mean, that really goes to show you, doesn't it? You know, that Spoon S2000 we drove around here not long ago, that had, I think, about the same amount of power as this, but that car was, like I said, a 31.3. Well, as this, you know, well into under 30, because it's all about how you use that power. And this car uses its power very, very well indeed. A 29.766 will place this into 148th place. Goes in between the TVR Cerberus Speed 6 and the Audi TT Coupe. It is quicker than a Mazda RX-7 Type RZ, Roof BTR, RX-7 Type R, 207S16, another RX-7, Roof RCT. It is only fractionally slower than the GTR rally car and the GTR itself. They almost sort of went into a little club together there. It's also not that far off the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R, which I say is probably the best starter car in GT2. So, I mean, if you want a bit of a left field choice, this is absolutely something that could work for you. Yeah, really, really good car. Can't complain there whatsoever. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I will hopefully not trip over my own words, and when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.